Good morning and welcome aboard to today's session of Trade Along Live with Saul. Saul will be joining us shortly. The focus here is on the S&P 500 E-mini, so put up an S&P 500 E-mini. If you don't have one, ask, and we can have you set up with trading software or point you in the right direction so you can get yourself set up with trading software. We're here every day from the hours of 9:15 to 11:30. Slugging it out in the S&P 500 E-mini. The giveaways or the information that's provided here is, in my opinion, second to none. If you're looking to develop consistent profitability, if you're looking to do better at your trading, if you're looking for an individual to teach you how to trade, help you develop from where you are to where you'd like to be. In other words, you have a skill set and you're looking for a skill set. Saul takes you from where you are based on your skill set, adds in price action, adds in the ability of setting key proprietary scalping levels for the morning session. So that brings me back to this Trade Along Live session. They're being well received out there. We appreciate everybody referring people and bringing people to the party. This service is an opportunity to trade along with a 25-year veteran trader of the trading pits in Chicago, receive his roadmap for the day, his discipline, which are his key scalping levels for this morning's trade. Then you have the ability to go along with him, trade along with him, ask questions, interact with him as you are going about your trading business. So we have new traders coming in. Welcome, new traders. We have experienced traders coming in. There's two services here. There's this Trade Along Live session, and there is an opportunity to work with Saul, the 25-year veteran trader, in what he calls his training and mentoring, or mentoring and training service, where he takes you in a private session. He teaches you from where you are, looks to add in, subtract the stuff that's not working, add in the stuff that is called price action trading. Teach you how to set the roadmap for the day so you can do it on your own. And then the schooling and training, the entries, exits, and stops in and around Saul's levels and zones. And then the exercising of that craft and the critiquing of said craft by Saul over a significant period of time, which is a year. So you are hiring Saul as your mentor, and you are being schooled over a significant period of time. The beginning period is really concentrated on the technique, how to set the levels, and the length of time is the trade time, the action, what you did, what you should have done, what you could have done, what you did well, what to hold on to. Where did you enter a trade? Why did you enter it there? Or why do you enter it there? Where do you place your stops so you don't get stopped out as often on these trades? Well, that's a learned experience. What's your exit strategy? A learned experience. And that comes over a significant period of time. What's great about Saul's mentoring, and I'll just lay it out for you, is that he's teaching you in private class, and then he's giving you free access to his Trade Along Live session as an access point to him, a proving ground for you, and an opportunity to be critiqued based on your trades. So it's a freebie, it's a bundle. So check out the website. It's Trade Along Live, Trade Along Trading Academy.com. Trade Along Trading Academy.com. If you want to bring people in here, it's tradealonglive.com, tradealonglive.com. Hey, Christoph, appreciate you signing up. Took a while. To sign up for this Trade Along Live session, which is the beginning of it all, the entry point into these services, I'm going to send out the links. I'm going to go out into your chat area. It's going to go out to everybody. There we go. Hey, James, I think I shouted out to you yesterday. I'm not sure if you gave me an answer. Sal's a nice group of people in his course of mentoring work. If you'd like to join, let us know and we can fix you up. Hey, Will, Terrence, the same. You're asking a lot of great questions. You want to get the answers that are going to really help you make sure you're in Sal's mentoring and his coursework. Hey, Philip, Manuel, KG, Johnny Z's in the house. Hey, Johnny. Glenn. Everybody else, good morning. Hey, Johnny Z. James, I got your message. Hey, Will, good question. Yes. Let me know if you got that. I'd also recommend signing up here for the discount. Maybe you tell them you're a member over here, you get nicely taken care of. You got it. Hey, Glenn, are you signed up for Saul's Friends and Family? Hey, George, how are you? George, I think you are. So let me know back in chat. They've been exiting.
Good morning,
people.
everyone. Can everybody hear me all right? Let's give you our levels for this morning. Our pivot this morning is 4180. 4180. Support at 71, 64, 50, 37, 29. Resistance on the upside at 88, 96, 4208, 17, and then 28. Pivot 80. Resistance at 88, 96, 08, 17, and 28. Support below at 71, 64, 50, 37, and 29. Market here, continued concerns about the economy, and very tough little last hour break yesterday afternoon to pushed it here to these to this 41 handle, and continues here as we see what they want to do this morning as they come up here to our blue band. But yeah, very tough little trade there for us if you were trading in the afternoon. Again, we don't like to trade in the afternoon for reasons that we talk about all the time. And it's just a tough little trade as the market really has its own little issues in the afternoon. I mean, they just don't trade well technically for us to be trying to escape the market. So we're opening up here a little down the downside here. You have to take that into consideration. The first few bars here are always very volatile as we're coming off our 88 here very nicely. giving us 4 points here very easily. We're looking at 4 to 5 points on these trades right now with this volatility that's in there. So nice little trade there against our first resistance area up here at the 88 area as we were talking. And kind of hung there for a bit to give you a chance to get in. You got filled on the upper end of the range there, so nobody can complain that we didn't get filled today. And a nice little quick rotation here to give us our first little opportunity in the first couple minutes of the day. So again, there's always a risk-reward relationship with the first a couple bars, so it's a matter of how much risk tolerance you're willing to take. Each individual has different risk appetites. Again, we are welcome some new folks here. We're trading mini S&Ps, looking for opportunities to scalp the market, scalping the market with the levels that we just gave out. If you look at the chat, you'll see the levels that we printed there for you. Those are opportunities for us to areas that we're going to be focused on that will give us an opportunity to, we feel the market will give us some inflection points. It'll create some opportunities for us to scalp. And right now with the volatility where it's at, we're probably looking at about 4 to 5 points on our stops and our profit targets. As you can see, we had a nice rotation off of that 88 area very easily. Got us our opportunities there. But the market is very, very buoyant. That's the right word. It's bouncing around very fast here with the volatility, with all the happenings around the world and also in the United States with the economy and the hard landing and the interest rates, and everybody's just the market is just finally reacting to it, which we thought it would react to it this way with all the negativeness coming into the markets. And then what put it over the top was last week when Powell just finally said, we have to start raising rates at much faster clip than the market thought. They became very hawkish, went from very kind of easy landing to very tough hawkish talk, and that's not, market's not liking that at all. And we have done what the market does do when there is fears of interest rates. So, but for us, as far as traders are concerned, all we're trying to do is find opportunities for us to scalp. Patience is important, obviously, but we are moving around very quickly these days, so we are finding ample amounts of trades for sure. If anybody has any questions, again, write them in the chat. I have the chat window up so I can see them faster. We are just scalping opportunities here in the market, looking for about 4 or 5 points. Picking our spots is always a good phrase to use when we're describing the kind of trades that we're looking at. We're not trying to, jump in the middle of a break or jump in the middle of a rally. We're just trying to find opportunities where we can find areas that we believe the market will give us an area to trade around and give us a chance to scalp the market. Like I said, right now with the volatility where it's at, probably about 4 or 5 points. If that's what we're trying to do here on an everyday basis. We like to average about 4 or 5 trades a day. Obviously, these days we're getting a little bit more than that, and we also try to focus on the morning hours to give us those opportunities. The dynamics in the morning fit our trading style much better than they do in the afternoon. There's a lot of different variables that change as the day goes on. The volatility changes, the number of players in the markets change. So totally different dynamics as the day goes on. Can we repeat the levels again in the chat for us? We'll get them up there in a second. There we go. Thanks. Don's very happy to have you back. He always gets nervous every time he doesn't see you, and then he has to work extra hard just to. He sends me a lot of messages. Where is he? What's wrong with him? Can't get good help these days. I got to hear it from him. And I give excuses for you. Yeah, he's got kids. He's got a wife. He's got kids. He's got bills. And he's got the beach. you know, he doesn't have time for us all the time. Anyway, all right. Market continuing to rally here a little bit. Resistance up at the 96 area. Next resistance, it did bounce here off of our blue band a little bit. If you're a little aggressive, but you can see it, it's just quickly going right back down there too. There is just like no holes barred in this trade. Okay, coming quickly back down here to our blue band and quickly rotating off of it if you were so inclined. Gave you another chance to get in there if you wanted to get in. That's very nice of it, actually. That was very nice of that market to do that for us. Anyway, so if anybody has any questions, again, if you look at the chat, you see the levels there for you. Again, we're just scalping the market for opportunities. Obviously, everybody here trades a little bit different. Nobody here trades the same. So if you scalp in and take in 3 or 4 points, it's good. If you're taking more than that, trying to squeeze in for bigger opportunities, just keep your stops in place. Always have an exit strategy in place so that you always know where you're going to be out, and no matter how you manage it, just trade it with confidence. So that's what we try to instill here in our trading methodology, to give you confidence in what we are doing and what you're doing, I should say. And that way you keep yourself on a positive note and thinking positively instead of, being nervous and stuff like that to getting into your trades. So that's what we do here on an everyday basis. Looking for areas that we believe the market will give us an opportunity to scalp, and we have different setups. Not every setup is the same. Different opportunities along the way. So that's what we're looking for. And in either situation, you always have to keep your stops in place, and that way, always are looking for the next opportunity. All right, so nice little rotation there against our blue band. If you were so inclined, was there a reason to buy it? There was. There wasn't. If you didn't do it, that's okay. We'll look at the 96 as our next level area of resistance that we have up there. All right, coming back down here to our blue band. Obviously not as interested in it this time around, but it could hold. All depends on how aggressive you want to be. Let's see if there's any numbers coming out this morning. Let's see, pending home sales. So a couple numbers are coming out this morning at 9 o'clock, and State Street Confidence Index. No, you got the wrong person there. Don is colorblind. You got the wrong one. Mark, he's the one. They're the one that shows up once in a while, but yeah. All right, get a little, held the blue band one more time. Coming back up here, a little resistance around the 96 area. We do have a number coming out here at 9 o'clock. The biggest one is, well, a couple of ones, one of the State Street ones, a little small, but the pending home sales could be a trade. And we'll see what that number is going to Now we had mortgage applications came out. They had a huge drop. It was like an 8% drop. So you can see that interest rates are becoming a little bit more of a hindrance. I think it's going to be a hindrance on the housing market. And the housing market is a big number in regards to the economy, because basically everything that happens in your house, it leads to different segments of the economy and creates more growth. And this is what everybody's worried about, is that we're going to have the way the interest rates are going up, we're going to throw ourselves into a little bit of a recession. So we shall see how that plays out as we come up here to the 96 area now. Again, just keep your stops in place no matter what. Can we repeat the levels again in the chat for us? There you go. Again, we always talk about this. If you don't like the price action when you get to a level and you don't like the way it's behaving, there's no reason that you have to, love a trade just because it's a lot. There is the scratching the trade. You need to rally here a little bit. Kind of held at 93, 92 area and kind of pushed it forward here a little bit. Looking at the 08 next. You got to keep your stops in place. We always talk about that. Again, if you don't like the price action around it, you have choices. As that is what we do here on an everyday basis. So not every level is always going to be perfect and work like the first one did. So we come up here quickly to the 08 area. Very, very fluid little market here for sure. No doubt about that. That's why you got to keep your stops in place, and then you're always looking for the next opportunity. I mean, we ran through the 96 and came right up here to 08 and trying to give us work on this 08 here a little bit again. You got to also look at the price action. And like I said earlier, if you don't like how it was behaving there around the 96, it did dip down really quick, gave you a chance to exit really fast, and then maybe as we continue to rally here a little bit, not surprising. This is part of the first couple bars that we talk about, that they had that extra volatility that always comes into play. And now we're trading all the way up here at 17. You got to be very, very quick here, dealing with the opportunities, and see what this one wants to do up here. Again, the volatility is too great, then you have to be a little bit, wait till the volatility settles down a little bit for you so you can manage that better for yourself, as the 18 here is working, the 17 here is working very nicely for us. All right, getting a little rotation here against our 17. 18, the 08 got dipped down to 6 and then rotated back up and then kind of hung there for a bit. And then now we made that push up here. If you now we're trading against this our 17 here, saying we can't get back down a little bit. So this is a nice rotation here against that trade. Again, we got to be you got to get out of one so that you can get back into the other one, right? That's why you keep your stops in place. Sometimes the tendency is to, if you're not out of the first one because it didn't work for us, then you're like, oh, now what do I do? Right, when it comes to the winning trade. So you always exit, come back in, especially when it's moving as quickly as it is, right? I mean, it is what it is. The volatility, what's the VIX? Are we in the 30s now? As we continue to rally, looking at the 28, the next level of resistance do we have up here? 30. That's exactly the 30 handle. Again, a little bit of a relief rally maybe after that big sell-off yesterday. Again, if you were trying to get long, it did give you a chance there to get long around the 85 if you were a little bit aggressive there. Let me give you some levels here above 28. Above the 28, we've got 39, 47, 54, and 66. Wow, that was quick. That was very fast. That was quick. I'm impressed. And if you look at the chat, you will see the additional levels that we just added on. Again, you have to, this is a very fluid little market. I mean, it's very quick, moving very fast. If it's too fast for you, we've always said this before, it will slow down. At some point, things will settle down here a little bit, and you can trade it when it's not so fast. And it's always the first couple bars in the morning. All right. I was going to say, we do have this number coming out here in about 11 minutes. Keep that in mind. A lot of action this morning. Very, very fluid market. And not surprising after that big break yesterday. I mean, look at that. It's a nice little rally in the morning and then just kept selling it off all day long. So it got up there to 24, almost 25. So if you're a little bit more risk averse, you have to be a little bit mindful of the move up there and be careful around the 28. Some traders are attempting a brave climb up the wall of worry despite a multitude of negative forces that continue to spook the market overnight. U.S. stock futures rose 1% despite an aggressive selling on Wall Street in the previous session, which saw NASDAQ plunging 4%. The Dow sliding more than 800 points. Among the big names that took a tumble was Tesla, which lost 114 billion in value, or an amount worth the market cap of 3 Twitters. Geez. What's going on? What's the factors behind the broad sell-off? The Federal Reserve, all the things that we've been talking about. I'll repeat them here, but they give an explanation. The Federal Reserve, we're in a worldwide tightening cycle now, and we have to let the air out of many of these assets, said some advisor. Futures now predict nearly a 50 basis point increase in each of the next 3 FOMC meetings, fueling concerns of the economy outlook, and even talks about a coming recession as we continue to rally, coming up here to the 28 area. I got in there at the 26. Some of you scaling in there at 27. And a nice little rotation here off of the 27. All right, there's our 4 points right there. Nice little trade if you're trying to hold on. Again, it's moving around very fast. Got to put your orders in there. Again, we're scaling in, so we're not going to be perfect. You got up to 7.25 there. Hopefully you got in at 27. Some of you got in at 6.5 due to the volatility. Everybody trades different, right? Nobody here trades the same. All right, nice rotation off of our 28 area. We did give you other levels above, so hopefully you saw those in the chat. We average, there they are again if you missed them. We average 4 to 5 trades a day. Obviously today we're getting a lot more, right? There are days when we're not trading as much, but today we are definitely, that's the one without the extra levels. As a matter of fact, what are those? What are the board levels after 29 there? I think you put they came up on the downside. They came out, you fix that. All right, nice rotation here off of our 28 area. Please fix that. How's that? All right. So again, this is a way to take a little bit more than still wrong. You put the after the 29 support on the downside, those 39, 47, 54 should be on the top as resistance, not support. No problemo. I know. I know. You're a rookie right now. You're making rookie mistakes. All right. There we go. There's a 54 after the 47 before 66. But every time I give new levels, it seems like I've topped out the market. I don't know. We'll see. So nice rotation there. Again, if you have extra contracts and you can hold on to some, this is a nice rotation where you can get a little bit more than 3 or 4 or 5 points on these trades. Make up for some of those other ones that we had to get out of really quickly. Again, nothing here is etched in stone. You have to trade according to your risk tolerance and what makes you comfortable. If the volatility is a little bit too great for you, that's all right. Be patient and wait. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. We use levels that we just gave out as areas of inflection, and also the price action opportunities as well. If anybody here, we put together a trading methodology that encompasses all those concepts and ideas. And the goal of our trading education is for you to be able to do this independent of myself, to be able to find these levels on your own and to trade them on your own, and to find the trades and recognize those trades and execute them. All of that requires a little bit of understanding of the methodology so you can take advantage of it. And we do have an education course that helps you if you are interested in some of that, in addition to this trading room that we have. So again, we talked about what is affecting the market. The Federal Reserve with their 50 basis points in the next 3 sessions is one concern. I spoke about this yesterday about having a hard landing, which would mean a recession. Geopolitical situations in Russia is an upcoming war rhetoric calling the risk of a nuclear war a very real that cannot be good for anyone or anything, especially risk assets. Moscow has also threatened to halt gas supplies to Poland and Bulgaria, triggering stagflationary dangers for Europe, while the United States has announced it won't rule out any military action if China establishes a base in the Solomon Islands. And so that's keep piling on with this war stuff. This is really good, right? Long-standing supply chain problems combined with China's severe COVID restrictions and the war in Ukraine are adding to costs for consumers and businesses alike. This amounts to the largest commodity shock ever experienced since the 1970s, said some equity growth guy. And earnings season, there have been some notable performances, but many quarterly results are fueling concerns about a weaker outlook in the months ahead. Netflix would just announce one of them, which stock collapsed from $350 to $200 over the past week after losing subscribers for the first time in a decade. We may now be realizing the groups that experience a lot of growth, your tech companies, that growth may not have been overplayed. All right, so these factors really concerning the market, pushing us down here. Not a surprise. Google, Alphabet has already slipped 3.5% session prior to its earnings before posting for quarter one numbers that missed. The result dented the stock again as shares fell another 2.5% and after trading on Tuesday to $2,308. I thought they were like splitting. I guess maybe not. That was well off the peak of $3,000 in November of 21 as the tech continues to get hammered across the board. In fact, many large tech stocks have already crashed of at least 50% from their highs, and some have even plunged 70% like Netflix, PayPal, and Etsy. So a lot of carnage out there, and it's not gonna, I don't think it's gonna stop anytime soon, unfortunately. Just a little breather here. So nice little hourly bar there, right? We got here down at 75 all the way up here to 80 as let's say 25. 75 to 25. Oh, 75 points, right? No. No, that's not 50 points, right? It's a big move here in an hour. But they're getting them. And here, I think yesterday in the afternoon, we had a bigger one. 67. Yeah, so that was I'm at my 60 points there. I can't even math. I can't even do quick math anymore. It's pathetic. All right. We have this number coming out here momentarily now, so I like to be flat when these numbers are released. And we are kind of in the middle of a trade. If the only trade you could have on here is being short from the 828 above, really we didn't buy it anywhere else. Maybe you covered them down there and went at the 12 area. There was a reason to cover them down there if you did. And now we're just kind of flat. We'll let this number come out and we'll see what the market wants to do. Right now it got support around the 95 on the downside, 41.95 area. And the next side resistance is up at the 39 area. So big ranges, but patience is important. We've ran through a lot of numbers, a lot of levels, a lot of opportunities so far this morning. Not all of them were good, but that's why we keep our stops in place. All right, the number is out now. And getting a little choppy here. You always know when the number is out. You can always look at the ladder ticket and you see that well, there's hardly any bids and offers anyway, but they really lighten up the load. That's why we're getting the volatility here. They're reacting to this number here, so we are kind of flat. We got resistance up at the 39, and kind of just nothing here in the middle. Let it. This is what I like to call a no trade zone here, because you're guessing as to what it's going to do. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. You can see it's very, very choppy here. Came with the 25, 6, flushed it all the way back down in a minute. So very, very nervous little market. Patience here is important. Waiting for opportunities. Like I said, we have support down at the 41.95 area, and resistance will be up at the next level up there at 39. And kind of in the middle here, you'd be guessing as to what's going to happen here. We don't like to guess. All right, continue to downtick here. And pushed off with those highs a little bit. So kind of support down at the 41.95 area. Again, if you would have told me it was going to break, I would have said, okay. They rallied it first off the number and then came flying off of it. That's why we don't like to trade numbers. They're very unpredictable. They give you a breakout, a fake move one way, and then give you this move down here. So if everybody thought it was going to get long there, and then all of a sudden, boom. And that's why we just kind of like to stay flat when these things are released and play the whatever opportunities that the market gives us after. Okay, we got support down at the 95 area. Yeah, so it's like, any number right now, especially when it comes to housing or into anything like that, they're gonna make that look a lot worse than it should be. All right, coming down here to the 95 area. All right. Again, a little bit of pressure here off of the number, reacting off of that number. We got support down at 95. They dipped down to 97 and change. Coming back up here. All right. Well, now we do come down here to the 95 area and see what it wants to do down in here. Like I said, we have a little bit of support here and getting a nice little rotation here off of the 95 area. Again, we're looking for our areas to scalp. I mean, we were up there and we gave you 95 a little bit before it gets there. And it's just a matter of being patient and waiting. If you thought it was too far away, well, guess what? Not these days. Everything, you'd be surprised how everything just rotates all over the place. And that's why you have to be very patient and wait for opportunities here. Find areas that you feel are viable, good areas. It doesn't matter if the markets are moving around in that little, up above, and you wanted to catch that move. It's hard to catch that move. I mean, if you would have told me that it was going to break, 30 S&P points, I would have said, probably, I don't know, maybe it did, but I just found the area of support that I would be interested in trading, and then I got an area of resistance above, and I just waited to see what happens then. The markets are so volatile and they are giving us those opportunities, but they have to be good levels, good areas that you're focused in on, instead of just trying to find areas to trade because the markets are trading. Not a good reason to trade. All right, so a nice little quick rotation there against the 95. Again, you're scalping these opportunities. We got up to 99 really fast and pushed it back down here a little bit. Obviously, you're taking whatever the market gives you. You're not expecting huge moves when you're scalping, right? Now we're coming back down here to our blue band. Anything below 84 there, you definitely want to be out of any longs if you were going to buy them anywhere in this area. Otherwise, we'll look for our levels on the downside. The 80 there would be our pivot, but I would probably look at the 71 instead. All right, market continued. I don't know. They just number came out, and all of a sudden they just don't like it anymore. I mean, somebody said the number came out slightly lower than expected, but again, they're just overreacting. I think to numbers. It doesn't really matter. Market was going to do this either way. They were just waiting for it to get up to a sellable area, and then they just the bears are winning out these days, as you can tell. Support down at the 71 is our next support level that we have. They got a nice little bounce there against our 95, and then they just continue to downtick here, looking for the 71 area. Every time I do that, every time I give you more levels one way or the other, it usually stops the market. I should just give you more levels on the downside now. All right, coming back here to our pivot. See what it wants to do here. Kind of gave up that whole big rally here in, 15 minutes. Not so bad. Very volatile trade here, as you can tell. Be very, very patient. We are trading mini S&Ps here, equity futures, looking for opportunities to scalp the market. Coming down here, we have support down at the 71 area. That's our next level of support that we have. Quickly rotating down here. If you would have told me that was going to happen, I would have said, no way, 10 minutes ago. But that's where we're at. Coming quickly down here to the 71. All right, nice quick little scalp there against our 71. You got to take some profits if you're trading multiple contracts, that is. And pushing up here to give us our 3 points for sure, depending on how you got in, right? Depending on where your entry point was. All right, there we go. Nice little trade there for us against the 71. Again, it's a matter of being patient and waiting for opportunities. The markets are fluid. You don't have to jump in there just because the markets are trading crazy. You just have to wait for good opportunities, and also make sure you keep your stops in place when those opportunities are not going to be good, as we've had a couple of those as well. But we've definitely had our good levels in addition to these ones that are kind of running through. So big move here in the past. This is just what, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, right? Just a big move. Very nervous market. Down to 64 is our next support level that we have. We like to average 4 or 5 trades a day. Not today. We're gonna probably easily surpass that, and this is just in the morning hours, right? As we quickly come down here to the 64 area. All right. All right, nice little rotation up here against our 64 area. Nice little quick that got in there at 65. And a quick pop back up. Again, your scaling has to be a little bit different because of the volatility. Keep that in mind as well, right? I know it's a little bit risky, and this is, after all, futures trading. So, but you do get there's definitely a risk reward situation here. Went right up to that 70, which is also the settlement price there at 70.5. So it was a good exit strategy if you did jump out of there. Definitely a reason to get out of any trades, and even a little bit of a scalp to the downside if you reversed. All right. The next support level we have is down at 50. As you can see in the chat, you see the levels that we gave out this morning. They are there for us as a guide to the day. We've already added some to the upside, and then we're now testing these downside support levels. The market here, very fluid. I'm sure the VIX has got to be a lot higher right now, right? I mean, 31 maybe pushing a 31 handle. I don't know, because that was a big move off the top there. All right. Right now, resistance would be around the 90 area, 4190 area. Again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. We're just taking out trading the opportunities the market gives us, the ebbs and flows of the equity markets right now, many S&Ps. That's what we're focused in on. Do you have any questions about what we're doing here, the levels that we gave out, how we find them, how we trade them, how you enter trades against them, how you scale in and scale out of them? That's all taught in our education course. And everybody here is different as far as risk tolerances are concerned. So we work with everybody individually to try to maximize your risk potential. Right. Well, seems like we're trying to look a little nicer than we on that break. That was a pretty amazing break. Still haven't really rallied that much. Trying to right now. All right, so a little bit of a rotation. Got the resistance around the 90 to 93 area. That's where we're at. They're very, very busy this morning. We're definitely, if you just traded the levels, we got 7. There are definitely some price action opportunities that we talked about along the way, maybe 3 or 4 more. We're up to maybe 11. That's a lot of trades in one day. Does make up for those days when it's a little bit slower. Yeah, that's where we have a little resistance, anywhere between 91 and 93. Not everybody takes those trades. It's just a matter of what you are. Maybe it's a target if you're long, but it depends on how you're trading. But yeah, that's where we have a little resistance. And I'll see what it wants to do around there if we get up there. Anywhere between 90 and 93. All right, getting a little bit choppy up here. Again, I've been very, very busy this morning, so that's a good thing, I guess. All right, very fluid again. Now we're bouncing back up here again to the upside. But again, a big 1,000 lot coming there at 80. Let's see if it stays there. Somebody really wants it. Ooh, somebody they took it out in a flash. That's impressive. That was impressive. That was very impressive. They are definitely throwing some size around. That's for sure these days in the market. You can't even see it. It's going so fast. All right. Very, very choppy little trade. Be very, very careful. Wait for opportunities. Patience is important. Picking your spots, waiting for your spots to get triggered. That's how you kind of stay away from the choppiness in the middle here. And it's very, very choppy. All right. Well, continue to downtick. We already tested we had 64. We got down to 65. So we're not going to be worried about that level. We're going to look at I really don't have anything down till 50 next. All right. Market continues to push down there. Next level we have support is down at 50 area. All right, market continues to its push here to the downside. Looking at the 50 area as our next support level. They just opened the floodgates here after the number was released. And then they kind of rallied it first and then just giving it up right now. All right, very, very little choppy little market here. Very fluid little market. Be very, very patient. And you got to be patient and wait for opportunities. We have ample opportunities this morning. Just with the levels, we have a big range. These are very tough little trades here for sure. You definitely have to find areas you feel are important for your opportunities to make some money and then take advantage of them when they get there. But you have to be patient. We're getting plenty of trades today. We like to average 4 or 5 trades a day. Obviously, like I said already, we're at 7 or 8 for sure. You can see there the levels that we've have. Let me since you're let me include some levels on the downside in addition to the last one there supported 29. We've got 1806 and then 4095. Like I said, as soon as I give you levels one way, market rotates, goes the other. Without a doubt. Well, we have levels all over the place. So again, the levels we can use throughout the day, but price action opportunities that are occurring. Have a good one there. You too there, Mark. That are occurring after in the afternoon become a little bit more definitely a little different. They're harder to trade. The dynamics are different in the afternoon than they are in the morning. So we're going to focus more on those levels in the afternoon versus anything else. VIX is all the way up to 32 right now, so it's a big move there in the VIX as well. All right, again, right now we got resistance around the 90 area, E7 and 90. All right, quick pop back up here. What a surprise. All I got to do is give you levels to the downside, and that was going to happen. Okay, but coming up here, a little resistance around 87 to 90 area. All right, coming up to a little bit of resistance up here. Thought we would inch up a little bit more, so be a little bit careful there around 87 to 90. All right, coming up here to the 90 area. And if you're aggressive, remember we're starting to trade in the afternoons, so the price action opportunities are a little bit more tenuous than they are in the morning. They're a little bit, the dynamics are changed just a little bit. All right, nice rotation there against a little resistance area against the, got right up there to 90 and came off. We had resistance 87 and 90 up here, so came right up to the upper end there and rotated off. Again, we had to make the adjustment according to the price action. So if you did jump in there, take a little bit of a scalping opportunity, you did okay. Again, like I said, we've had ample trades today. For the most part, most of them were good, depending on how you manage your trades, obviously. And if you kept your stops in place, you were able to jump into the next opportunity. And that way you were able to take advantage of the market when the market gets up to a level or down to a level, and we can take advantage of it and scalp the market. All we're trying to do here is scalp the market. Level is probably about 4 or 5 points. The price action opportunity is a little bit tighter, maybe 3 or 4 points. And if the volatility is just a little bit too great for you, you can always be patient and wait. Things will settle down. They always seem to. And obviously, the fundamentals right now are taking over for the technicals. And until we find a area where the market will kind of gravitate to and consolidate here a little bit, we're going to get a little bit volatile here until they find some kind of equilibrium that the market will say, okay, this is I'm taking all this news into account, and this is where we're going to trade here for a bit. Until that happens, we're going to get some volatility. And again, the fundamentals, which we talk about every day, the geopolitical situation, the recession on the horizon for maybe the United States, depending on, again, how fast interest rates go up, hard landing, soft landing, geopolitical situation, all these things come into account, and it's weighing on the market right now, and it's creating this push to the downside. So, but all we can do is trade, and until they kind of find a level where they are content and they're saying, all right, and then maybe the volatility will settle down, and then the technicals will come back into play stronger. But we are getting quick moves, giving us opportunities very fast, and that way you're not sitting there holding on to stuff forever. So we just rotated half that move that we created in the last since 9 o'clock, and then half the move back in 15 minutes. So volatility still is there, still moving around. Just stay focused and take whatever the market gives you, and then look for the next trade that we can have. Up here, I don't know, a little resistance around, if you're a little aggressive, around 05. We get above, I think we get above 8. I think we have a good chance of going back up to the highs there. We hit our downside support there, and got down to 65. No, we got down to 50, 56 there. Change. What they got down to exactly is 50. Oh, I got down to what? Oh, that was from this morning. Yeah. Okay. Got down to 57 down there, and then rotated back up here. So, all right. We have our levels on the downside there. You can see in our chat, they're right there for you. The levels on the, we've been very, very busy morning. Hopefully you were able to take advantage of some of the opportunities that we've had. And right now you got to be a little bit careful, because I think if we get above 08, they go and maybe retest some of these highs up here. Very buoyant little market, trying to decide what it wants to do. Tough little trade for sure. no doubt about it, but you have to stay focused and wait for opportunities. Hopefully, we've been trying to keep you out of trouble. The one thing that we try to do here more than anything else is to keep you out of trouble. Not get caught with one of these big moves that goes against us, and that is half the time that when we're talking about not trading the no trade zone is when the market gets a little bit whippy and going back and forth and for no reason. Try to stay out of those situations and get involved in areas where we feel the market will give us a good chance to make a little bit of money. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you look at the chat, you saw the levels that we gave out. They're all there for you. If you have any questions, again, we have anything I say is definitely taught in our education course, the levels that we give out, how to trade them. Some trading psychology is also infused in some of that. All of that stuff is taught in our education course. The goal of the course is to be able to, for you to become an independent trader, find these areas and levels on your own, and to know how to get into them, recognize those trades, and then execute those trades according to your risk tolerance. I'll get back here in a bit. Well, the VIX will have a tendency to drop when the market rallies, so that's not surprising because we're kind of pushing back up here. But really, anything in the 30s or high 20s is very high volatility. You get into the mid 30s, you're really into some deep volatility, and that happens every time the market goes down. You get these moves, the volatility just spikes. Traders like markets to go down. That's why I don't know. They have a tendency to like markets that go down because the volatility is increased and it gives you more opportunity more than anything else. We're not trading the VIX anyway. We just like to have a guide there to kind of give us an idea where the VIX is, so we kind of help us with where our stops are going to be.
Hey, a couple quick programming notes. I'm going to send an opportunity to sign up for the service on a daily basis. It's a special discount link, so take advantage of it. Edward, let me know if you're going to sign up. Jack, how are you? Mark? Misha? Will, let me know how you're making out. Hey, Zerl, I took care of that for you. Thanks for sending the email in. Hey, Anupam, how are you? KG? Philip? Just let us know how we can help you. Thank you. Yes, I sent the link out to everybody. Hey, Misha, I think that you're a part of this. Let me know back in chat so I can make sure you're okay. Mark, the same. Jack? Well, no problem. I appreciate it. Just make sure you sign up, okay, so that you're in at the discount. And again, this is twofold. This is the Trade Along live session. This is the entry into Sol's world. You sign up at the link that I just sent you, become part of his friends and family. Then if you want to talk about signing up for his trading mentoring, his private trader mentoring, then that's another conversation we can have. First things first. Hey, quick shot and welcome to Tim L. Hey, Tim, welcome aboard. Give us a quick shout out in chat. Let me know that you hear my voice and see our charts. I'll give you a quick overview about what we do here on a daily basis and what the opportunities are for you as a trader. New trader, experienced trader. Hey, Mark, let me know if you're back. Mark, Jack. Hey, Terrence, I think because you should know already that you're in twice. Nietzsche, let me know what's going on with you. If anybody gets exited because they're non-responsive, exited because they're unknown as far as being signed up, go to our website, which is tradealongtradingacademy.com. Look for the telephone number. Give us a ring, and then we'll see if we can get you out of Zoom prison. Got a few people that are heading there. So self-assess, make sure you're signed up.